Hey, Jeff Heiser here with I Think Differently. Today's show, why embrace hardship in your life? Hey, this is Jeff Heiser. I am so glad that you tuned in to hear another one of these episodes on how to think differently. It's Jeff Heiser, I Think Differently, and today we are going to talk about why you should embrace hardship in your life and what a difference it can make. Before I get started, though, I want to bring you up to date on some things. First off, it's about the Blue Line Vagabond. I didn't have any responses. I don't understand why nobody wants to participate in trying to figure out what the Blue Line Vagabond means in the name that we gave our van. I'm talking about the van. Last week I was telling you that we were putting solar panels and what have you on it. We're done. It's completely outfitted now with solar panels. And what is really cool about this is that we had the refrigerator on, the microwave on, the stereo on, the TV on, all these different things on, all running off of an inverter, which makes it AC 120, alternating current, 120 volts. And all of that ran off of the battery bank, which was being charged by the solar panels, and it never went below 100% charged. That means the solar panels are doing their job, and I am so pleased with this. This is going to open up so many different things for us when we travel, because it's difficult to use the generator, even though it seems like it wouldn't be like, oh man, why not just turn the generator on? Well, you got to buy propane gas for it. And if you run that generator for any length of time, you're going to eat into the propane gas, which costs money, which means you have to find a place on the road that sells you propane gas that will fill up your propane tank. Well, that's not such an easy job sometimes. So that's why we went with the solar panels, and I have to tell you, we're very, very pleased with that. So if you want to know more about putting the solar panels on, I actually have a video on YouTube showing the install, and I will also be putting up a blog probably later this week, early next week, with some pictures and some information and a link out to the video on YouTube. So today's show, this got me thinking this past week, because I had witnessed some things and heard some things people say, and it really got me thinking about hardships and challenges in your life, in my life, in your life, in everyone's life. And I realized that people really just don't know how to deal with hardship. Why would anyone in their right mind be willing to embrace hardship? Just think about that for a second. Why would you be willing to embrace hardship in your life, or challenges that bring on hardship in your life? Recent studies I've found show that we experience more positive things in our lives than negative ones. And when I found this, I started, keeping track of the positive things that happen in my day and the negative things. And for me, it's true. There's a tremendous amount of positive things happen compared to the few negative things that happen, like maybe I run into traffic, or, I didn't pay a bill that I thought I paid, or I missed a call on a client that I should have called them on, things like that. But, we tend to fall into this trap of petty concerns and annoyances in our lives. I do it all the time about traffic. I hate traffic. And I hate people that seem like they don't know how to drive. They go from the right lane all the way across to make a left turn across 3 lanes of traffic, and they don't care. But that's just a petty annoyance. That's not a hardship. It's a petty annoyance, but I fall into this trap just like everyone else does. And that becomes something that drives our day. We go into work. We say, oh God, the traffic was so bad. Oh God, these people don't know how to drive, and on and on and on and on. If it's cold, we let the cold become a petty annoyance to us. And we get to work or get home, and it's so cold, it's cold, blah blah blah. It's going to cost us so much money to run the heat. It's a petty annoyance. See, we tend to play this victim card. And when you talk about, it's so cold, the traffic was so bad, you're making yourself a victim to this. And as a result of doing this, our stress levels go up. We're unhappy. We become grumpy old people. Not to knock on the old people. I'm an old person. I get senior discounts. I don't take them because I believe that I'm a senior. But we become these unhappy, stressed out people. See, the question becomes, how do we overcome falling prey to this negativity instead of continually capitalizing on the positive things that happen in our lives? It's easy. You're not going to like what I have to say now, but this is easy. You do it by embracing hardships. By embracing the hardships, we change the outcome. I think differently. Stop resisting the challenges that come your way. Stop resisting the fact that there's traffic. Live with it. Deal with it. Get over it. Get a cassette or get a DVD or your phone and load up an audio book or some kind of training and listen to it while you're in the traffic. Stop letting that traffic or the cold or whatever it is present a false hardship on you that brings annoyance, which is petty, stresses you out, makes you unhappy, makes the people around you unhappy because you're unhappy because of the way that things happen in your day, and you're annoyed. You know, that thing that people say, I'm hangry. You're angry because you're hungry? Well, get something to eat. Get something to eat. Stop resisting the challenges that come your way. You might be able to change them. You could take a different way to work. You will never eliminate them, though. So think a little bit differently. Stop resisting them. People who appear to have everything are often affection starved. They're living isolated lives and experience little joy. I tell people this all the time. People say, oh man, I wish I was like so-and-so. Look at the car they have. Look at this. Look at that. Oh man. Well, you don't know anything about them, first off, most likely, especially if they're a star. You only know what comes in the media rags that, talk about stars. But for the most part, those people live affection-starved lives. That's why they are who they are. They need that affection all the time. That's why they're always on the front of the Inquirer or wherever. They live isolated lives in these huge homes that they go to and shut themselves in so people don't bother them. And because of all of that, they experience little joy. They get little joy out of life. That's it. See, they're material things, and they're things that they have, and the money that you think they have and the success you think they have, that only brings temporary happiness to their life. At some point, it loses its usefulness, and they have to buy new things. That's not joy. That's false happiness. That's living an isolated life. That's living in an affection-starved world. People who experience the most joy, the people that have the most joy in their life, I'm not talking about happiness, I'm talking about feeling good all the time inside, tend to be the ones who experienced the greatest pains. Mother Teresa, Gandhi, Martin Luther King. After an event that I spoke at, I think it was out in Spokane, a young woman approached me, and she told me, and this is almost exactly what she said. She said to me, even though you have experienced so much hardship and pain in your life, know that because of it, you're the one that can best help others heal who have gone through the same things. Now, let me tell you, her statement knocked me back really hard, and I had to ask her, how can what I went through help others? It was so difficult for me to go through. How could I help them? She replied with, your story shows others that by embracing your challenges rather than resisting them, you can overcome them. Think about that. Your story shows others that by embracing your challenges rather than resisting them, you can overcome them. I think about what she said to me that day almost every day. And it reminds me to stay positive. We can choose to let negative things bring us down, or we can choose to embrace them, which enables us to rise above the negativity. An important lesson that I've learned over my life's journey is that challenge and hardship present incredible opportunities for learning. Have you ever noticed that it's often when we lose what we have is when we start to appreciate whatever it is we lost the most? It's when we appreciate it the most. When we're sick, we appreciate our health. We appreciate family and friends when we miss them because they're away or they're traveling or whatever, or they've passed on. Last year, after Hurricane Irma hit, I appreciated clean running water, electricity that worked, and passable paved roads that we could drive on. You don't realize how these simple things impact your life until they're gone. But when you think differently about how these situations affect you or about these situations, you realize they bring the greatest opportunities for kindness and change. Evacuating our home of 30 years was, at this time, it was very hard for my wife and me. It was, for some reason, it was a challenge, and it presented a hardship. And this is one of those times that I'm normally the guy that says, I don't care, let the house blow away, and it's just stuff. But this time, it was kind of different. It was extremely real. And my wife has so many nice things that she wanted to preserve and, pass on in the family and what have you. And it was just difficult. And we had to think about where do we go? What do we bring? Will there be anything left when we come back? Will we be able to buy gas, food, find a place to stay? The entire state